Once again, good morning, and welcome to Interfaith Spiritual Center Worldwide, where we believe there's a power for good in the universe greater than we are, and we can use it. And we are using it every single moment of our lives, whether we are consciously aware of it or not. This is why I love our way of light, is that trained thought is far more powerful than untrained thought. And I also really relate to our theme for the month. It's practical spirituality. This morning's topic is practical spirituality, first things first. And when we acknowledge that we have a spiritual ground of being that moves beyond color, race, creed, sexual orientation, and political affiliation, that our ground of being is God, whatever we conceive our God to be, whatever name we put on our higher power, it matters not. But to acknowledge that which is within us is greater than that which resides in the world out there of conditions, appearances, and effects. Because we give our power away to the stuff that happens outside of us, rather than be still and know. Breathe in this moment. Just take a deep cleansing breath all the way down to the soles of our feet, remembering our feet represent our understanding on the physical plane. For the psalmist told us, with all you're getting, get understanding. For there is a spirit within man and within woman, and the breath of the Almighty hath given them life and understanding. Through this sacred understanding, we move in and out of the world. We acknowledge there's contractions, expansions, contractions, expansions, as we are in the world, but of a higher spiritual vibratory frequency. And what that means is our thoughts are looking through the problem level to the solutions. Practical spirituality is maintaining a ground of being on the solution level. That when things come up, we are not swallowed up by them or give our power away to them. We are right where we are in this moment. Practical spirituality is a cause and effect relationship. It's not beating ourselves up and flagellating ourselves every time we make a mistake. Right? A mistake. Remember, it's just something that we learn and we grow and we unfold. And as we learn, grow, and unfold, we get a certain awakening. And in that awakening, we begin to live our lives differently and experiencing joy. There's a lot of pleasures out there that just sort of evaporate in the natural process of life itself. But joy is the most infallible sign of the presence of God. And when we're in that joy vibe, that is the stuff in which life is made. And then when we have sorrow that visits us, and to feel that sorrow, and to acknowledge that we're in the world. We're going to experience all of it in the human condition. And the day comes when we cease to cry and weep that it's over, and we begin to rejoice that it happened. So looking at practical spirituality and the science of mind, and when Dr. Ernest Holmes was asked by a journalist, what is the science of mind in one sentence? He said the laws of science, the opinions of philosophy, the revelations of religion apply to human need and the aspirations of man and woman. So when we look at the laws of science, the cause and effect relationship, that when things are going on in our life, that we begin to take responsibility for them, because the twin of responsibility is what? Freedom. Freedom to live our lives. And not look outside ourselves, not be the victim, not feeling like the martyr. And that whole martyr consciousness does not serve us at all. But when we take responsibility and we choose our own experiences, they show up in amazing ways. And there are also those little surprises in life. A few years ago, I was speaking at Queen's College in Cambridge, England. And I was speaking on world peace. And they gave us, nice rooms, kind of dormish, kind of that feeling. But my room did look out on the lawn, and it was very pretty. And so that night, it was, probably about 2 or 3 in the morning, I started, feeling like a dampness. And as I woke up, there was my whole wall, water was coming down my whole wall, and the room was filling up with water. Now, I've got 2 computers in there, and I've got my things, right? And so, I got up, I got dressed, I ran to the porter's office by, this time it's about, 4 o'clock in the morning. And I said, I've got water coming into the room, and, it's about so deep, and I've got computers, I've got, this, that, and the other thing, and I need some help. And he said, oh, I get off in 5 minutes. I said, excuse me, the water is in my room now. He goes, don't raise your voice. Very English, right? I said, you don't get it. So I'm, trying to find someone else, and someone came that was actually at the college and helped get my stuff out of the room. And the faculty president heard about this little experience. I was just like blown away that I could say, there's water filling up in my room, I'm being flooded, there's water coming down the hall. Oh, I get off in 5 minutes. Oh my goodness. Oh, what an inconvenience for me. And don't raise your voice. Look, I'm raising my voice. It's my computer and my stuff. So I get a call from the president of the university and an apology. And it was like a mess. And what happened is a water pipe broke and just happened to come down my wall. So they gave me a room where William Wordsworth used to stay. And Wordsworth is one of my favorite poets. He wrote Intimations of Immortality from Recollections of Early Childhood. Though nothing can bring back the hour of splendor in the grass or glory in the flower, I will grieve not, but find strength in what remains behind. He is just a consummate poet. So they give me, where William Wordsworth would stay, and I could feel this energy, and it was, quite elaborate, and with leaded glass windows, and a bouquet of flowers in the room, and great apologies. And then a representative came and said, because of what happened with you, we're now instituting emergency plans that we didn't have in place before, and we deeply apologize about the porter. And I said, had he shown some human compassion, had he, run to the room with me and, helped me, that would have been really wonderful. But to look at one's clock and say, oh yes, my watch, and I'm getting off in 5 minutes. And they said, we so deeply apologize. So, I'm not feeling real great about this porter. And, and especially when he told me not to raise my voice. And I was walking through and out through the porter's domain, and he flagged me down, and he said, oh, I want to deeply apologize. I just didn't realize how bad it was, and that you really were actually being flooded. I said, well, does someone come in at 4 in the morning and there's a flood, oh my gosh, every day, right? So, but he apologized, and I accepted his apology, even though I thought he was a real jerk, and I was really in my, judgment of not being responded to in an emergency situation. But then, remember, he drew a circle that shut me out, but Love and I had the wit to win. We drew a circle that took him in. Because we've all been jerks, I think, at times in our lives. We've all fallen short of who and what we are, our true self-image. And I let it go. And then I got to be in this energy, the Wordsworth energy. And I thought, isn't it fascinating? And the following year, when this organization asked me to speak in Oxford, England, they gave me another special room. and because of what I went through the year before. So energetically, yes, we are surprised by life. Life looms up and its experiences. On the way here this morning, I was taking my shortcut and the road was blocked. So I turned around and I went, the long way around this morning, but I left very early this morning at 8:30. So energetically, I was guided and directed along the way. We don't like the roadblocks of life, but you know what? We turn around and we do what is necessary to do to get to our destination. We are not the victims of fate. We have free will. Practical spirituality allows us to know there is free will. And when we embrace our own free will and we acknowledge that there's a power and a presence in the universe greater than we are, and that we are using that power and that presence, and that truly our God is all-inclusive. All-inclusive. It takes everybody in. And someone said, well, what about people that are atheists? And I said, well, whatever the belief system is, that has nothing to do with us. We're all part of the human family. One woman said she was sitting on a bench and she was feeling very down and trodden and feeling like the world just hadn't been doing a good thing for her. And all of a sudden in her depression, this little boy came in and he sat down by her and he had this little kind of a weed in his hand that he called a flower. And he said, oh, he took it to his nose and he said, oh, it smells so good. Oh, I picked it for you. And she said, the thing was half dead. It looked like a weed. I thought, well, maybe if I accept it, I'll get rid of it. And so she accepted it and she kind of gave a faint smile. And, but when she was accepting it, she noticed that he had it in the air. He wasn't like exactly giving it to her. She thought, this little boy is blind. And he's giving me a flower that he thinks is beautiful and smells so good. And here I am feeling sorry for myself. He's the one that has the sight. I'm the one who's blind. Because I can't appreciate life when it comes and sits down next to me on a park bench. And he impacted her life in that moment. The light went on. She got it, that the universe was giving her this gift. I believe in signs and symbols. I don't think anything happens by chance, that everything is by divine appointment, and that we learn and grow and unfold. And as we learn and grow and unfold, life just sits down beside us. Ah, the blessed child. And a little child shall lead them. And the lion shall lie down with the lamb, and a little child shall lead them. So that child within her that could respond and hold that flower and get the essence that the universe was there for her. I just love the way this way of life works. She said as she looked out, she could see him playing, and he picked another flower, and he ventured over to an old man stooped down. And she thought, he too will be transformed by a flower. And a little boy, a little blind boy, who has more sight and more energy than anyone could ever imagine, who transformed my life. So today, when we look at practical spirituality, we're on the solution level. We acknowledge there's a cause and effect relationship. We learn to draw the larger circle, even though there are things in life that looks like that are flooding. But the truth is, beyond that, it's a new day, it's a new moment, it's a new opportunity. Though nothing will bring back the hour of splendor in the grass or glory in the flower, I will grieve not, rather find strength in what remains behind. Because we open the door to the future. We close the door behind us, and the door to the future opens up for us. And there is the child with the flower. And the tremendous insight that it gives us, that it's about life, it's about renewal, it's about recreation, it's about making new choices. So with that being said, I know that we are all going somewhere because we are in a high place and we will not come down, that none of these outer things move us, right? None of these things move me. I am in a high place. I will not come down because I am going higher yet. Where? Higher yet. Where? Higher yet. And so it is. I say to you, Namaste. The God in me salutes the God in you, and the God in you salutes the God in me. And if I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, there is only one of us. Namaste. Thank you. I love you. And we are going higher yet. And so it is.